Welcome to this episode of the Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm Larry Weidel, and before we get started, if you want to know exactly how to win again and again, go to weidelonwinning.com/webinar now to watch something I've put together for you. Now let's get going into this episode of Million Dollar Mastermind. I'm here talking with Scott Ellyson, co-founder, CEO of East West Manufacturing. He's given me some insights into the big corporate world that a company that continues to be able to grow at astounding rates. And Scott, it's got to be the last 5 years, you said you've been growing at 40% a year. And up till that, you were like with Diversitech or some of these other 20% a year or something like that.
We did 15 years of organic growth at just over 20% a year. And then when we started doing acquisitions, our first one was in 2017, we started acquiring domestic manufacturers in the US with the intention of growing them. And in doing that, we've actually increased our organic growth rate now to 25%. With the acquisition revenue, we're now running at about 40% growth rate a year, and we don't see that slowing down. In fact, we see it accelerating.
You know, you were talking before about what to me I interpret as a game-changing type move just in the electric motor arena. Yeah. I mean that's a game changer. That's right. It's exciting to be able to be in manufacturing where you can come up with a concept, but you know you can make it and you don't depend on anybody else to get it out in the marketplace. You've got those supply chains set up. You've got the manufacturing set up. Your experience is telling you the best, like you said before, earlier on, part of what you did was help companies find the best place in the world to build certain kinds of products. Right. So probably, if I'm looking at you as somebody I want to compete with, I'm a little overwhelmed. Because I'm trying to find a weak link here,
We've spent the last 20 years helping companies design, manufacture, and distribute differentiated product so that they can become successful. And it's across, we don't just do circuit boards or plastics or rubber or metal part. We do fully integrated products across a wide range of manufacturing disciplines. And so we work with our customers to really develop solutions that will help them be successful. And so after doing that across a lot of different products in a lot of different industries, we've identified certain areas where we can develop solutions and then either bring them to market ourselves or go to our customers with that unique IP and help them be more successful.
Now, let's just say coming up with the motor, do you have an R&D department group, or do you piggyback off of research and development going on at other companies, or do you have a synergy where you work together, share ideas and information back and forth? How does that go?
So we've got, in the company, we probably have 130 plus engineers, and they break into three main groups. There's the what we call the NPI team, new product introduction, which is that they once the product is to a point where it's been designed and specified, then the NPI team is responsible for getting into production at volume. And then there's the sustaining engineering teams, which are responsible for dealing with changes and production issues and so forth. So the product design team, those are, it's a seasoned engineering team across a number of different disciplines, electrical, mechanical. We do some firmware programming and so on. And so their job is really, back of the napkin. They'll if a customer comes to us with an idea, we can go through all the prototyping and the design and the ideation to get that to a finished state, and then and so that group, we have a PhD in thermodynamics on that team, in heat management, controls engineers, and so on. And so they're very capable of creating products across that would really fit across a number of different industries. But the ingredients that goes into those products, plastics, metals, electronics, those are kind of common across all the products we make.
And are these groups located in one location? Are your engineers scattered out in the different facilities? No.
Good question. No, the core group is here in Atlanta. We call it the bunker. They love. We have a lab that's where all the 3D printers are and the lab testing equipment and all the circuitry stuff. All that's here in Atlanta, and then we've got that's more the core ideation and management. And then we've got just to keep our costs down, we've got folks in other places in the world that will help us do our drawing work and board layout and more the more rudimentary part of the design process.
And when you have all of these products, probably you see unlimited opportunities for revolution, improvement, and game-changing breakthroughs. How do you choose which one to go to next?
A common thing. I'll just a simple example. So, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, we started seeing, electronics is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And the technology is getting more advanced, and chipsets are coming out that when you used to have 50 parts on a circuit board, you can now buy a chip that replaces 40 of them, and so incorporating and all of that continues to drive down cost of manufacturing and cost of the product. And so often we're knocking on a customer's door and saying, hey, what do you think about what if we introduce this chip into your circuit and it allowed us to take 20% of the cost out, and all of a sudden their eyes light up and they're like, wow, that's great. We could make your product smaller, and we could while we're at it, why don't we add this communication device so it can become a Bluetooth a product, and that might allow you to get more market share and add some additional features. And so we want to be in that proactive creating mode where we're going to our customers and advising them of new technologies and things they might want to consider incorporating into their products that would then give them an advantage to help them sell more product, which in turn helps us because then we get to make more product for them.
And I bet your engineers are having a field day now with the 3D printers and being able to print chips inside all of these devices all at once.
Faster. I mean, 3D printing is still not a great option for volume production, but in terms of if I've got an idea and I want to see if it works, I can 3D print the part, and wake up in the morning and there it is, and I can try it out and see if it works for us. So in terms of spinning ideas and getting things moving quickly, and it's so important. And this is one of the main reasons we've been buying domestic manufacturing across the U.S. and that moving products from idea into production quickly is so important. And we were finding that, when we were leveraging a lot of our offshore capabilities, it just took too long. And so we wanted to have a strong domestic capability so that we can launch products very quickly for our customers and get them into the market.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of information online, but there aren't a lot of people who have actually done something. In my case, I've actually built a successful business that's accrued over $5 billion in assets under management and has done well even during trying times. Now, if you want to know exactly how I've done this, go to whiteelmwinning.com/webinar now. I've compressed a decade of learning into 5 short weeks just for those of you who want to give yourself an incredible advantage and are tired of waiting and watching others move up.
And how does it compare now from the idea stage, going to the idea stage to getting your model mocked up to where you you're able to demo it and then get the order and then gear up your manufacturing and get that pipeline filled with product? Uh, how how does that's got to be a revolution in your life, the way things, and of course new
Yeah,
challenges.
I'm never satisfied. I mean, that's an area that speed is king. Um, and speed is more important than cost at that point. Being able to turn around and get products in the market quickly, having that as an advantage is we think is huge for us, and an area that we really want to excel at and separate ourselves from the competitors. And we're not really aware of a company out there that really there's of course there's product design firms. There's a whole array of manufacturers that are out there, and typically those manufacturers specialize in certain areas. From one company may just do wire and cable, another one do plastics, and so on. But we want to be a company where we want to be partnered with our customers to help them not only design the best possible product for their need, but also be able to develop the entire supply chain for them to support the manufacturing of that product.
That leads me into how do you manage yourself to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed with things to keep up with and real but also imagined problems? CEOs have got to look down the line and see problems coming and steer the company around it in advance. There's so much you can do by empowering your people and having high quality people in place, having veterans that you trust. Yep, but the things that that's good, but it also means the things that get to your desk are the absolute worst or toughest. And when you've got these things, I mean, if only one a month comes in from each of these plants, that's 7 a month. And so how do you keep yourself even keel and perspective? Because Scott, between me and you, I'm going to give you some advice. You cannot let yourself get burnt out. Okay.
Yeah.
You have so much stinking potential. I just want to tell you, I talk to a lot of people and I'm like super proud of what you've been able to do at this stage of your life, because you're still a young man. And the people that you have empowered and excited, and the industries that you are fueling for growth and innovation and everything. And you're just I can just see it. You're just on the beginning stages of the kinds of impact you can make. I just really like what I'm hearing from you. And I just want you to,
Thanks,
I want you to keep your head together, young man.
Yeah. Well, I like
be overwhelmed.
Riding my bike. So that's how I get my peace of mind. When I'm riding my bike down the road. So
I will tell you, I used to do that myself until I'm 14 years recovering from a cycling accident in the middle of Palm Beach. So I've sold my road bikes, but you got to do something. But how do you keep yourself distance from the tyranny of the urgent, becoming the fireman who's just rushing around, put out fires and things like that? How have you been able to make and basically keep this fun for you?
The things that get me excited, it's one is building. I'm just always amazed at the team that we've been able to pull together. I mean, I look around me and I'm bewildered at how talented folks are and what they're able to get done. And I love seeing folks grow and develop and move into higher positions within the organization. And I take a lot of pride in that, in having been part of that as a company, and created a culture that allows for that. Especially, as a company as diverse as we are, across so many different areas, and so to me that's just great. And then a lot of times, of course, manufacturing the kinds of products and that we do, where we feel like we're making a difference in that regard. I think that gets me very excited, and then really it's just where this could go. I always love getting out of bed in the morning and saying, sky's the limit. We can. There's nothing holding us back except ourselves. And I get a thrill when we're buying these companies. A lot of them have been beaten up pretty bad over the years with a lot of manufacturing going overseas, and a lot of them haven't been aren't terribly sophisticated relative to what's possible today in terms of lean manufacturing and systems. And so, in a lot of cases, we're breathing new life into them. So we're in changing communities. Companies that were really just struggling to get through, we're now investing capital in them. We're teaching them how to do things better. We're making them more competitive with our global capabilities, and we're moving business into them and adding jobs in communities that have been depressed. And so I get a lot of pride out of being part of that as well. So put all that together, it's I'm having a blast, and I got to certainly there's always issues and things we're dealing with, and as a company growing as quickly as we've been, some folks can grow with that, and some folks in the company struggle with it. That's just reality. And so understanding where in the company where the talent is, and making it as a manager, making sure that we're challenging those folks and giving them opportunities to grow and advance, is that's a lot of fun, but also something I see as kind of fundamental to my role in making sure that that's happening.
Well, it allows you to not only attract those high quality people, but keep them, because when you've got that kind of growth happening, there's all kind of opportunities for
Exactly.
advancement,
Exactly.
and if you've got the right kind of people, they want to advance, they want to learn new things, do new things, have different positions, have different challenges, because that keeps them fresh too. And that's part of the role of a leader that I don't think a lot of leaders accept. They'll, you'll see it in organizations where people say, the leaders will say, my people just don't excite me anymore. And I'll say, well, guess what? You don't excite them either.
Exactly.
And they
Yeah.
say, what? My people come and they're not excited at the meeting. Well, yeah, maybe you're not exciting,
Right. Exactly.
who came first. And so it's great to see that you understand that, and you're part of creating the culture that will have positive values long term, is to create an environment that's going to grow. Because I don't know how you have a stale environment and have happy, positive people,
You don't. You just
And
don't.
so, congratulations on building that, on the track record you've accumulated, and the impact you personally are having in so many people's lives. It's just been a lot of fun to get to know you and to hear you describe your company. And if people can't go out and buy, they get excited about East West. Now they can't go out and buy a circuit board or a motors.
No, it's not. They can.
See, I love this company. I'm going to go buy a motor.
We're not public, so you can't go out and buy our stock. But
Yeah.
maybe one day. Who knows?
Maybe one day we'll keep an eye on you, and when that time comes, be sure and let me know so I can help get the word out. So,
Yeah.
congratulations on a great company and a great story. Thanks for sharing.
If you enjoyed what you've heard and are dead serious about finding out for yourself exactly how this works in the real world, I've taken the most valuable business lessons I've learned over 40 years and put them into something for you to watch. Go to whiteelemwinning.com/webinar now in order to move up as fast as possible. I'm Larry Weidel, and I run the $1 Million Mastermind. Go, go, go.